saying it.
For whatever reason, I cannot get away from the phrase "let's go." It's
Let's go. It's
I swear half of the podcast out there, they start with "let's go." It's like, is that even a thing? Let's go when you do something good.
That's one of my number one responses when someone says, "Hey, are you available for such and such?" I'm like, "Let's go." So,
do the kids still do that with like the fist pumping and whatever? Is that a thing?
No.
We do dab ups though, like
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
dab 'em up.
Cool. So no more like flexing down with that's not a thing anymore. Okay. You might be wondering why I am asking this question. It's because the two young men here know a lot more about what is cool and current. Is the word cool even cool anymore? You say what, Sigma? Yeah.
That's brain rot.
What's brain rot?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't even know what brain rot is. I'm not supposed to feel this old at the age of 41, Fred. What's going on here?
yeah, I'm just going to sit here and mew to avoid being cringy.
It's chuggy. It's chuggy.
Chuggy, sorry.
Yeah. Is that still a thing? Is
had a
chuggy
moment.
still a
I've
thing?
never heard that
Never.
before.
Really?
No.
Wow. Okay.
Oh man, they are not picking up what we're putting
Linguistics
down.
class that was pretty sus, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I got that one right, didn't I?
Yeah.
Okay.
That was good.
Okay.
You ate with that.
No,
You
yeah.
ate with that.
Let me cook, bro. Let me cook, okay? No. So now that we've made a fool of ourselves with these young men, let's go ahead and introduce Ben Mesa. And now I have Malicetti in my head, and that's not your name. I'm going to mess it up now. It's
Kattimani.
Kattimani.
Yeah,
It was like,
you got it.
Dadgummit, Rithika, your last name is in my head when I'm recording. So with with
Rishab.
apologies, Rishab Kattimani. So there you go. And these two gentlemen are here from their company, Benevolate. And I'm starting to question, what have I done with my life? Because when I was a teenager, I was not a guest on podcast. I did not have a company. I wasn't building something special like these two young men are. This is going to be a humbling show, man. I'm telling you right now.
Horrendous. I'm thinking, at their age, I was somewhere between comic books and McDonald's.
I was still trying to figure out how to ride my bike and talk at the same time. So, all right, how old are you guys at? I hope you don't mind me asking.
No worries. Yeah, I'm 14.
Okay.
I'm 17.
Okay.
All right. So where do you go to school? Yeah. Where do you go to school?
Yeah, so I live on the border of McKinney and Prosper, so I go to Prosper ISD school, Rock
Is
Hill.
it Rock Hill? Mm-hmm. Okay. Cool.
Yeah, I just finished at Dow Middle School, and I'm going to be a freshman at McKinney High.
Okay. All right.
Wow.
So
An incoming freshman guest on a podcast. You're the first incoming freshman, man. Got to hand it to you, Ben. Good job, bro.
Thank you.
that's right.
I mean, first 17-year-old too, because the closest we've had was
We're the valedictorians.
Was Matthew was McKinney High's valedictorian, right?
Yes. And
Yeah, and then
I've already forgot their names.
that was a year ago.
Oh.
I could see her face plain as day. We had Matthew on, the valedictorian from McKinney High of last year. I forget what his last name is. You probably know him because you're coming into your senior year now, right?
Right, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Now I'm going to have to look it up and
Go
see what our
back.
guest
Yeah,
name
that's
was.
Podcast host fail right there.
Oh
so
my gosh, we definitely should not have said that.
don't get old. Don't get old.
So all that to say, 14 and 17, you guys are the first. So no pressure, but you better bring it. So yeah. Okay, so who wants to start here? I don't know who's doing what, and I see you have Benevolate.
Yeah, the shirt.
That shirt, you're rocking the logo.
Thank you, yeah.
So Rishab, I'm going to ask you first. How in the world did you guys get to this point in your life? We'll ask the personal questions about you guys as humans first, and then as Benevolate. How did it come to be? The idea, the execution. Your dad was sitting here talking about how you're getting on a plane to Chicago in a few days. You've already been on a plane to Chicago just a few days ago. So this is a thing. Like, this is not just some hobby or a pet project or garage side hustle thing. Like, this is actually a real company you guys are doing stuff with, which is terribly exciting. What's the backstory, man? How in the world did you get at this point in your life?
Yeah, so I started all the way back in, I would say, one COVID time, actually. So that was about 6th grade for me. I was really bored. I had nothing to do. So as one does, I just started going on the internet and thinking, what can I do at home with nobody in person? And I started learning coding. So I started doing really small projects that it didn't really make a lot of sense at the time. They were very simple programs that I was making. But eventually it came together because I started making applications. So with that, I started thinking about just small business ideas that I could implement with my coding skills and making applications. from there, I started a technology YouTube channel, which I grew to over 11,000 subscribers, just teaching these kind of applications and programs. And that's where I actually met Ben's dad, Manuel, who he had a half-baked idea of the CRM software that he wanted to use because he's been in the fundraising world for, I think, longer than I've been alive. So he had this idea half-baked for a CRM software. So we started building it because I had the building blocks for that. We started building this idea and Ben started coming along as well. And overall, that idea, it started getting more concrete as we coded it and as we went along. And yeah, here we are after that.
Okay, so
I love this already, man. This is
the
awesome.
fact that met Ben's dad. He'd been in that space for before you were born. I'm just going to go ahead and say that. I'm just like, why weren't you playing Minecraft or Fortnite like everybody else?
So I'll actually tell you, I have been playing those.
I was about to say, what makes you think he doesn't play Minecraft and Fortnite? He just doesn't do it for 4 hours straight like his friends.
Yeah.
Four is like JV level. I've heard stories of kids risking life and limb to continue playing Minecraft.
But here's the thing: Rishab has better
12
things to do
hours.
with his time, and I bet you Ben does too. Yeah.
Yeah, so pretty much like Rishab was saying, he met my dad, and I would always go to my dad's office to learn more about what he was actually doing. Like I would say, like Rishab said, I wasn't big on playing those games early on. I would play them, but I wouldn't find an interest in actually doing something fun that I liked.
Mm-hmm.
So when I went to my dad's office, I just kept experiencing and learning new things that he was helping his clients do. And overall, I just started to learn more and I wanted to participate more. So I would always, ask him for these small tasks that he would have me do. And, and then I just started going to the Benevolate meetings at the really start of the company. And I really grew a passion for helping organizations and getting involved in the CRM. But I was never really big on those video game type things. It was more helping, doing what my dad did. It was.
So both of you actively are programming?
Yeah.
So yes and no. He's kind of my teacher. We like to look at it. He's teaching me how to do it. I'm not the best at it yet, but I've made progress over time.
Okay, Sensei Rishab here. What's your opinion of your grasshopper? You probably don't even know what I'm talking about when I call him grasshopper.
I do.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. Old kung fu reference, right?
Wax on, wax off. No? Okay.
So when you first met Ben, what was your opinion of him?
How are you going to put him on the spot like that, bro? Ben's
Listen,
sitting right here.
We ask real questions in here.
He's right in front of him.
He's already traveling to
Ben,
Chicago.
earmuffs. You don't have to listen to this part.
No worries.
Yeah.
So at the beginning, it was just him coming to the meetings. He wasn't giving a lot of inputs as we started this company, but I would definitely say that him coming to the meetings itself, that was a step up from a lot of other people who are just interested. They just say, I want to help out with the company, as a lot of my friends do. But he was actively engaging himself. He was trying to do something. And overall, that grew into him actually becoming the chief client officer. So I'm glad that he came to those companies because he started giving more and more inputs as he grew comfortable with it. And now, he's a co-founder as well.
I was wondering. I didn't want to ask the question. Didn't want to put you guys on the spot. Thank you for volunteering that. I do a lot of work on the insurance and risk management side of things with insurance technology companies, or InsurTech as they're commonly called. And obviously earning co-founder status, that's a big deal, man. At 14 years old, for you to have the original founder say you're a co-founder of the company that he and his dad started, that's really cool, man. That's got to make you feel great about your contributions.
It does.
Wow.
And
what is that like for you? You're a 14-year-old kid.
You can't even drive.
No, I can't.
You're 2 years away from getting a driver's license, but you're a co-founder of a tech company.
But you're way ahead of many of his classmates that are seniors.
It's kind of a mixed thought because when I tell my friends or try to tell them, they kind of don't believe me or think it's like a joke. I feel that the kids in my grade don't really take it as something serious. They're kind of more focused on, like you said, the video games aspect of it, not really, going into the real world and actually getting a job. I think it's been good. I balance my school time with doing this pretty well. It's sometimes gets a little difficult. I actually had my phone taken away a few times trying to respond to client emails mid-class because it was a priority. I handle most of the support, so it was pretty hard to respond mid-class. And
Ms. Johnson, you don't understand.
Sports.
This is a really important client. I got to reply to this email.
It's Chicago. I'm sorry. Okay, so
I love this, man.
Yeah,
This is the
I
best
know.
episode.
Like this is amazing and so humbling at the same time. What is it like? You know, because I look at the two of you and, you know, knowing the backstory on Mark Zuckerberg or Bill Gates, you know, Doogie Howser. You probably don't even know it's a TV show, right? And it isn't completely fictional, but, you know, suffice it to say, very young man who was a doctor. What does it feel like for you to be in this position? Because, you know, obviously you don't seem ill-adjusted or, you know, out of sorts with what's going on in the world or, you know, with your contemporaries. But at the same time, you are so far ahead of them. You know, you mentioned stuff about, you know, getting a job and things like that, but you guys aren't out there. And there's nothing wrong with flipping burgers or grocery cart.
But if you've got something better, why not have something better?
Yeah. So how does that feel for the both of you, knowing that you're already so far ahead of the game?
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's enlightening. It just feels good that I got this opportunity to be a part of something bigger, because I know how it feels to be like, you know, the usual kid stuff to do, just playing video games, going out, playing sports. And that feels good as well. But it's a completely different feeling of after school, you do your regular stuff at school, and then after school, you immediately head off to your office to take a client meeting. It just feels different. And it feels really good being a part of something bigger.
Okay, so I got to ask, you obviously have this entrepreneurial drive.
Right.
You have this idea that the normal everyday thing that is all around you, I want more than that. I want something different than that. Where do you think that comes from? Obviously, role models and the folks that have shown you what's possible. Where does that come from? How do you have the building blocks of what becomes, hey, you know what? I'm going to start a company. And now at 17, I'm going to have a co-founder. I'm going to have clients. I'm going to have an office. Like all these little side comments that you've made, I'm like, the kid has an office. Like, oh, you know, I got done with school and went to my office. It's like, that's an odd sentence. Let's just pause for a second.
Right. Yeah.
You didn't go home and get your bike and ride it to the park and shoot hoops with your friends or swim at the neighborhood pool or play video games or whatever you wanted to do. You got off school and then went to your office. Like, we just have to recognize even that simple little sentence, that's different in a really cool way. Where does that come from, Rishab?
I mean, in my opinion, I think it's something that you have to nurture from the very beginning. Ever since I was a kid, I wanted to be an entrepreneur. I wanted to own a business. Now, that came in different forms. At the beginning, I thought it was going to be art business because I was really into art at the time. And then I thought I wanted to be something like a race car driver. But in the end, I really wanted to do something more than just a regular 9-to-5 job. And I think as I continued to learn more stuff, starting with things like coding, and then I joined a nonprofit, public speaking, things like that, it just really consolidated the idea that I want to do something more. Now, of course, at the beginning, I didn't know what form that would take, but I always knew that I wanted to do something.
I love it.
Okay, Ben.
Yeah, so like Rishab was saying, it really does start from the beginning because, like he said, I was really starting to look into all these business ideas that I could do from a really, really young age. Like starting a class to help students who may not be fitting in school and helping them like that. It was really something I started from the beginning. Like I said with my dad, he's definitely been my role model for this because I've taken so much info and just applied it to this. It's really been, I would say, a challenge though, because sometimes I feel like, you know, maybe I'm too young to do it, but then I've also realized that it's definitely something that, you know, has grown over time, that maybe I'm not too young and I actually have a good perspective on this type of work. So it's definitely been mixed, you know, challenges and anything like that. But I think overall it's been good.
Man, you know,
You're definitely not too young, man.
No.
There's no such thing as too young.
No.
Hear it from somebody who's started 2 different companies much later in life than you did. But man, as a dad of an 8 and a 6-year-old, almost 6, she'll be 6 in 3 weeks. I'm rounding up. She won't mind. But yeah, this is going to be the first episode that I insist, at least my son and maybe both my kids, watch from start to finish, because I want them to understand, hey, you're 8. You might think you're too young. You're never too young. Right. I mean, look at this kid. He's 14. And this kid, he's 17. Like, that's not very long in your future, son. They're absolutely going to watch this. So I'm sitting here with my dad eyes on going, you're never too young, man. If you've got the desire, if you've got the drive, if you've got the skills and you want to make something happen, well, go ahead and make it happen.
course.
The world doesn't have, you don't have to adjust yourself to the world's expectations. Make the world adjust to you and what you bring to the table. Make them uncomfortable with how great you're doing certain things that they don't know how to do. And that's where celebrity comes from, right? You have one or two things that you're just abnormally really good at. You have the drive and the energy to put in the work to get good at it. And then you just find your thing. I mean, that's all any adults do. Like everybody you see on TV, pro athletes and actors and entrepreneurs and people in the magazines that you read, they were all young at one point and said, you know what? Why can't I do this? I think I can. And there they are. I mean, I wouldn't be at all surprised if we, open a magazine sometime and see both of these guys sitting there on the page of the magazine.
Guaranteed.
Yeah.
Guaranteed that, because if there's one thing we know, especially since we just finished our episode with Dr. Stephanie in, the nonprofit space, is that they need more organization. They need more connectivity amongst themselves. And as we had mentioned, we encourage you, go back and listen to that one because that would be a great connection for you. But there are so many organizations out there that are all trying to do the same thing. And if they would combine their force, but they probably don't know how, because, James and I were talking that, the number one answer is Facebook group chat, Slack, things like that. And then you have to manage multiple different things. It's on this app, it's on this platform, whatever, but you bring it all together. So tell us about Benevolate.
That's the question I was waiting for, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we got to know about you guys first, so it's already been
Hearing about Benevolate is so much more interesting once we hear about Ben and Rishab.
That's right.
I'm sure, yeah.
Yeah. Is there anybody else in here? Are you two and your dad? Is Manuel and your dad, like the four of you? Is there anybody else that's really core central involved here?
So right now it's mostly the co-founders that are working on it actively like every single day at the office, but we have an extended team of about, I think 17 people, 17 people. Yeah, so it's growing daily, but we have an extended team. They don't work on it like actively as a full-time job, but just time to time we have
developers mostly?
Mostly developers. We have people on the support team, client team.
Yep.
But do they have to wait to get out of class to
No,
work?
actually,
or these adults?
Yeah, most of them are adults, yeah.
Okay. How does that feel? Before we jump into Benevolate, like you, a 17-year-old, you're telling adults what to do and providing direction to people many years older than you.
Sometimes it's scary because originally I was like a very non-confrontational person. I didn't like to do that even to like peers of my own age. And then I have to do it to adults now. They're like way older than me and more mature. So it was scary at the beginning, but I think as I do it more, it gets a little bit more comforting.
Yeah, it's easier to tell adults what to do after you have some experience.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
But it always comes down to what is the end goal?
That's true.
Because, the cult of personality can derail so many things because, I want it this way and you want it that way.
Exactly.
And the truth is, that has nothing to do with what is the end goal, precision and excellence.
I'm going to stop asking him sidetrack questions. Benevolate. What is the big, hairy core problem that Benevolate was created to solve?
So I would say the biggest problem is a lot of people, when they're starting a nonprofit, they have the best intentions. I mean, they're doing God's work, but the only thing is they have to stop thinking about it from a charity perspective and more of a business perspective, because that's what a nonprofit really is. It's a business. So they need to have that organizational factor. And a lot of people, they don't have that. So that's what we're trying to simplify it so that all they have to do is focus on the work that they're doing, and we can handle the organization for them, from anything from communication with their donors, fundraising, event management, all that stuff.
It's so simple. I feel like you've practiced that a couple of times.
That was the
haven't you?
first time I've said that. Really?
Yeah. Really?
Yeah.
No, you said something like that a couple weeks ago because we met at the chamber, and I remember because
Yeah.
we will have. And I'm looking at Dad now. Of course, he's not on any of the cameras, is he?
Yeah, we really need to.
Yeah,
I can move out of my seat and you guys can talk here in a second. Because before this episode is over, I've got to put a mic in your face and hear your side of this.
You're gonna have to come in here, but we have many times parents will come to the chamber with their children,
Right.
Just as like a break from the parent getting up, and the child will basically say, hi, my name is Timmy, support my dad.
Yeah.
And you stood up, and I sat there. I was like, okay, it's summer. He's not in school. He's gonna deliver that amazing pitch for his dad's company. And then when you started, I was like, It's like, wait a minute.
Okay, this one's different.
That's right. And then so, after the meeting, it's like, I got to talk to this guy. And it's like, oh, we definitely have to have you on the podcast. So, I think that's just incredible that you have that level of vision. Because as I said, when I was going into my senior year, I was just thinking about, can I afford to put gas on my car?
Mm-hmm. So, Ben, I'd love to get your take on this, man, because obviously, original founder, CEO, directing traffic is most of what Rishab does. Casting vision and just making sure the chess pieces are getting moved where they belong on the board. It sounds like you're a lot more involved with ground floor operations, execution, making Benevolate happen on a more daily. What's it look like for you?
Yeah, so I'm really on the client side of it. So pretty much what I do is really focus on growing the clients and also the client experience. So the client experience is really important because if the customer support is not there, nobody's going to want to use the product. You have to make sure your customer support is there. So what I've been really focusing on is driving the support to be good. So like answering any support tickets, me and my team will take 10 minutes to just respond to a support ticket. Do the onboarding. So I'm really involved in all of the client relations. When Rishab, like you said, he's at the table doing all the full business stuff. And then, his dad is on the technical side. And then my dad's really on the operations side. So really the client side is what I'm focused on right now.
So your dad's full-time involved in the company as well?
Not full-time. He has a second consulting firm, but he focuses on the operations side of it.
Okay, so just out of curiosity.
I just love this story. It just keeps getting better.
During your meetings, because you're a team, do you just say, hey, Dad? Or do you call him by his first name?
No, I say, hey, Dad. I feel like that's weird if I'm...
Yeah, sometimes they get mad if we say, hey, Dad. Yeah. They want us to say their names in the meeting.
Really?
Yeah.
But if there's two dads in the meeting, which dad are we? Yeah. Like I could totally understand why you would need to be on a first name basis with your dad. Talk about that for a second, because both of you are sons. It sounds like both of you have great relationships with your dad, which in this day and age, gosh, it's so encouraging. I just love seeing that. To have two young men that have a solid relationship with their dad. And as a dad, I'm just like, oh, that's got to be so cool, so rewarding to have this level of involvement with your kid, doing work that you enjoy with your kid. Oh, all the feels, man. What is it like for both of you guys to do this, what may end up being your life's work as an entrepreneur? And even if you sell this venture, once you do it once, it's easier to do it the second time,
right, exactly.
And the third time and the fourth time. What's it like doing this with your dad? Like, that is just the best thing, man.
Yeah, it is. And not just our dads, we've been trying to include all of our family members because we want to keep it as a tight-knit circle right now, because we're only giving this to people that we absolutely trust.
So you guys are working from home then? You're officing out of your home?
I do it from office on weekdays, and then on weekends I just stay at home and don't work.
Awesome.
Okay. How about that? Okay.
Ben, how about you? And what's it like with your dad?
Yeah, it's honestly really great. I actually like it better than doing it with someone else. It feels a lot more, like Rishab said, rewarding, because I look up to him as a role model, and just doing it with him. I mean, that's really how I started, was just going to him and asking him all these questions that probably made no sense to him, but, taught me so much. And just putting it actually to work in a company really is something rewarding that I like doing.
Man, so awesome. when your dad tunes in, hears that, he's going to go down and buy you that new Corvette, waiting for you to turn 16, because, those, man, don't you just like...
Don't put words in his mouth now. Man, well, you don't have to do that, bro. You're good.
No, you should do it.
Can we... like... Father's Day, this is the perfect. This should be the Father's Day episode.
Kidding? I'm pretty sure Ben needs to buy his dad a new Corvette.
Yeah, he probably should be able to.
Yeah.
I noticed your dad's wrist. It looks like it hurts. Rolex will make his wrist feel better. Okay, so
we just passed Father's Day. You've got some time until next one.
That's right. You got to figure this out. You got to figure this out. All right, so. James mentioned a key thing there is that, the first time is always the hardest, the most awkward, and things like that. Do you look at the competition? Now, obviously, there's not really a whole lot of people in your space or a whole lot of companies in your space, but there are a lot of CRM systems out there, Salesforce and so forth. Do you look at them as the competition and what you can do better as a potential rollout for, little side venture that would grow?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we look at all the competition in both spaces. We do faith-based. For synagogues, we have a CRM platform that's mostly tailored to them. And then we also have the secular for just regular nonprofits that have all the features dedicated to them. So for both sides, we look at the competition and we're looking at all the features that they provide. And we try to do that and also go beyond. We're doing a lot of that with AI especially. We're trying to be very AI integrated and offer a lot of features for our users to use AI to help elevate their organization. And I feel like that's a big part of how we're differentiating ourselves from the competitors.
Yeah.
So from a technical perspective, are you guys built on some sort of underlying enterprise layer like a Salesforce or HubSpot or Go High Level or something like that? Or did you guys just build your own baseline source code and go from there?
We built everything from scratch.
Man, I love that.
Yeah.
So you're not relying on anybody else.
Yeah.
Nobody.
Wow. Do you guys realize what you have?
We do, yeah.
Wow.
And it's frankly, it's really exhilarating to be on this journey. And we realized that over the past year, we've been working on it for, I would say, at least 4 to 5 hours a day for the past year. It's a lot of effort that we put into it. And yeah, we just hope that it can be fruitful.
Yeah, we work a 9 to 5 every day. So
Just after 5 or after 3 or whenever you get out of school?
yeah, school's a little bit challenging.
Or between classes.
During the summer,
the
we
hallway.
work 9 to 5 in our
Oh, yeah.
office. But yeah, at school times, we try to
Yeah.
fit it into school schedule as well.
Can I just meddle a little bit and ask a couple of questions? My son is 8. He's going into 3rd grade now. And my wife and I have already noticed that he's not really being challenged at school. He is at McClure, which is a great elementary school here in McKinney ISD. Great teachers, good administrators, nothing wrong with McClure. Charlie is just a lot smarter than the average student. And he hasn't really had behavioral issues yet, but I know those are coming in the future if he's not being challenged academically, if he's not finding things that really grab his attention. Both of you seem like you got the same problem, that you're exceptionally bright, much more so than the 50th percentile of your peer group in your grades. You're going into 9th grade, you're going into 12th grade. How have you guys stayed motivated during your educational journey to not just check out of school entirely and just wait for college or advanced technical training in some non-college thing? Like, how do you guys stay diligent in school? Because you got to learn Texas history, or you got to write a paper on, I don't know, something that has nothing to do with your company that you probably don't care about, but you still have to do it because you're in school and there's lots of things that you have to do that have nothing to do with this business that you guys are getting off the ground.
Yeah, I would say for me, my parents have really raised me to always care about school and do like good in school, never get like under A's. So I feel like I've learned over the years to just, at the beginning, before I was doing Benevolate and all this other stuff, I focused in school and I really like tried my absolute best to go above and beyond to what they said. But then I feel like as I started doing this kind of stuff, I just learned to adapt and only do exactly what'll get me the A, and then check out the rest of the time. So what I've learned to do is at school, if there's ever like an easy class or an easy period, instead of doing that, I can do all the work in like one day for the rest of the week. So then I just work on Benevolate for the rest of the time, or my homework or something like that. But I feel like I've adapted to, I don't not care about school, but I just do it enough to where it, keeps me at that same
That's such a flex, man.
Yeah. No.
And your teachers are on board with this, I'm guessing. You tell them up front, hey, I'm going to get my work done and then I'm going to do this.
Yeah, I mean, for me, most of them, as long as I do the work, then they don't care. Yeah.
As well, they should not care.
Yeah, of course.
As long, if you're doing your job and you're being respectful and quiet, you're
yeah.
not being disruptive in their class, do whatever you need to do, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're an A student, you keep your head down and you're just on your laptop doing work in the classroom.
Right, yeah.
Dream. You're a dream student. I hope you know that. How about you, Ben? What's your take on all this staying engaged with school thing? Because I feel like you've got it harder than Rishab, because
Not really.
the company is further along at the age that you are. Because 3 years ago, I imagine the company looked very different than it does now.
Yeah.
When Rishab was 14. So what's it like for you, man?
Yeah, actually, my mom's really strict about being on point with the grades, doing every homework activity like that. My dad's actually the complete opposite. He encourages me to do the Benevolate work more. I still, get the grades, meet the expectations. But when I have like those real extra free time, he's like always saying, do Benevolate, do Benevolate. In school, some of the teachers would, actually get a little frustrated that I would not be doing the schoolwork instead. Like if I was scheduling a meeting with the client mid-class, they would, it's funny, but it actually happens because they would get
scheduling a meeting with a client mid-class. I just love that, man. Yeah. I can imagine the teacher gets irritated by that. He's like, hold on a second. Sorry, I'm on a call.
Yeah. It's hard though because my phone really, and you did get taken because I would actually use the school laptop to open my Gmail and respond to some emails. So, yeah.
Okay.
Misappropriation of
What's your mom's name?
of technology.
Rachel.
So Rachel and Manuel, if you guys ever need to talk about any of this, we're just unbiased. Happy to have you guys up to the office. We can bring food. We can just chat, have a little therapy session on what it's like to have really high achievement kids. And just we've got you guys. I imagine you are a handful, aren't you, bro? You're being on your good behavior right now, but I bet you're a lot, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a handful.
Okay, so at your schools, do they have the gifted and talented program?
They do.
Are you part of that?
I was.
GT?
They only had it up till 9th grade, but yeah, I was in that.
Okay.
In that time.
Well, he's actually writing the curriculum for the gifted and talented program now. So
he's pointing out all the flaws.
Yeah, my school they didn't have that, and I wasn't in it, if there was any.
where do you go to school, Ben?
I went to Dow and then now McKinney High.
So McKinney High, right? You already said that. I'm sorry, I had a brain fart for a second.
Yeah, so that's amazing. Okay, so now along with that, you'll find out once you get there. But at your high school, which
Rock Hill,
I was going to keep it nameless.
You already said it.
I know. I was going to keep it nameless. Do they have a business track or an incubator entrepreneurship in there?
So they have a course called entrepreneurship, and I really don't want to throw shade at my own high school, but I didn't think that it taught the basics of entrepreneurship, but I don't think it dove
It was
as
just
deep.
one class.
It was just one class. It was
All
like
right.
an elective class. So
Okay.
I think it was simple, and honestly for me it wasn't enough to actually, start my own entrepreneurship journey, but it did teach some basics that it did help for this for Benevolate. But I think that it could go way above and beyond, like maybe even starting up your own business idea and taking it further than just a high school level.
Mm-hmm.
Have you considered offering to do something once a semester or something with Rock Hill and go to the administration and be like, hey, I'm a Rock Hill product. I'm happy to, do a seminar once a semester or something and give back to your classmates?
Honestly, if I wasn't doing Benevolate, I would definitely think about something like that. But right now, my focus is like 100% Benevolate.
Totally get
Just
it.
grow the business as much as possible.
That's right.
Good answer, CEO.
Yeah.
You passed it.
I mean, he's only 17, so he's got a little bit of time on his side to really.
I'm not
grow
looking
that.
at his dad right now because I bet he's shaking his head going, yeah, good answer, son.
No, he's there holding his wrist, going, "That really hurts.
Yeah.
That Rolex would make it feel so much better."
Do I need to buy you a Rolex, Fred? That's the second Rolex
It's like-
comment.
No, actually, full transparency, I actually have a Rolex. I never wear it. I inherited it from my dad. But I have this thing about I don't want to take it out and wear it because I might damage it. But so it stays locked away.
I'm
in the
going to make
safe.
sure Charlie and Emmy both have nice watches for me.
There you go. That's
And
it.
or Allison.
Yeah,
Allison can give Emmy a watch.
there you go. Yeah, but that's just one of those things.
I have to buy one for myself though first.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's right.
I haven't got that
You
yet.
have to make sure. I noticed your wrist was kind of hurting too. So
Yeah.
you probably.
So I got to ask, and I'm not going to, get into dollars and cents and whatnot. It's like you guys are head down growing a business. I don't see anyone pulling up to this building in a Bugatti or Lambo or whatever.
Right.
You guys
he can't drive yet. So
you guys aren't coming in here wearing designer clothes and Yeezys or whatever the cool shoes are now. I'm not even sure.
No,
What's-
the cool shoes are the McKinney
Yeah, I noticed.
Podcast
They look
Air
good.
Force
Yeah.
Ones.
Those are really cool.
Just saying. And
Yeah, we got a little bit of drip, man. It's not too bad. But if you guys were gonna splurge and money was no object, let's say Benevolate just blows up and is just hugely successful, what's the first flex you're gonna have? Was like, you know what? When we have real money, I'm gonna buy X. What is it for you
That's
guys?
a good question. And I don't even think about this too much, but I would say the first and probably only like really, really nice thing, because I'm not into like the designer shoes and clothes
Yeah,
and stuff,
me
because
either,
I don't like how they look.
No,
I think,
I don't like them.
yeah, I just think regular clothes look better and feel better anyways.
Yep.
I think the main thing would be a car, just a really nice car. Probably something like a Ferrari or a Lambo.
oh man,
The basic ones, but
basic.
they look nice
There's
though.
nothing basic about a Ferrari. Now, here's the important question. What color is it?
Oh,
Is
maybe
it candy apple red or is it something different?
probably red or black.
Oof. Those are both good choices.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about you, Ben? What's your flex?
Yeah, definitely not designer clothes. I don't like it. But I would say a flex to me, if what I would buy is a really splurged out office. Like one that is big enough. I don't even, too much space to even think of what to put. Doesn't seem like a flex, but have like a nice view of the ocean, you know, just a really nice office. That's what I'd buy. Splurged out
Love
with
it.
everything.
So let's get in the weeds for a little bit on Benevolate, because we got a lot of nonprofits here in McKinney. I don't know if you guys knew this or not. We talked about this in the last episode. Per capita, there are more registered nonprofit organizations in McKinney than any other city in the country.
Oh, wow.
So of the cities the size that we are, we have more nonprofits. There's literally hundreds of nonprofits that are registered in McKinney. I don't know what it is about the nonprofit sector here, but we have it in spades. So this is a pretty relevant topic for our audience because a lot of folks that listen to this show are involved in some way, either as a volunteer or a board member or someone on staff or whatever. There's a lot of folks in the nonprofit world. What is some specific problems that you guys help them fix? Like, be real granular, real specific with the sort of problems that you guys help nonprofits fix.
Yeah, so I'll just go into we have many different modules as part of the Benevolate package. And the only fee that we charge, by the way, no monthly or yearly fee, the only fee that we charge is a small transaction fee on every donation that comes in. And that transaction fee depends on the organization's size. So one of the modules that we offer is the fundraising module. So we'll collect the payments for you and it'll go straight to your Stripe account. And we create your website. On your website, we'll put a little button there. If you want a donate page, we'll create that for you. If you want any sort of fundraising elements on your website, we'll put that on. Next is communication. So we allow you to do SMS texting and also the newsletters to your entire donor database. Whoever you want to send out newsletters or emails to, we can do that through our donor database. So we'll import all of your current donors or your previous donors, and then we'll keep a database for you so that you can view each and every specific donor profile. Maybe you want to add notes to that donor profile, view information about them. Maybe you're getting a call from a certain donor and you want to quickly open up their profile. You type in their name and you can see who they are. And, oh, I didn't forget you from that networking event. Of course I know who you are. So that kind of thing. Is there any other modules?
It's also the all-in-one CRM. That's really like what we like to focus on. I remember we went to a conference, the AFP Icon, and someone was demoing the platform, and they said it was the Swiss Army knife of CRMs. So it's really like the all-in-one. You don't need 5 different platforms to do one thing. You can use the fundraising, the engagement tools, the donor management tools all in one platform. You don't need so many different platforms just to manage your organization.
Now, you guys mentioned events earlier. Have you gone into the volunteer management as well?
So that's something we're actually working on. The engineering team is currently working on that.
Cool.
We have a lot of stuff in the pipeline that we just whiteboard them out. We hand them off to the engineering team.
Is volunteer management, volunteer engagement, volunteer recruitment.
Right.
All 3 of those aspects are big old pain points for a lot of organizations. I'll be curious to hear about when you guys bring that out, because I think from a value optics perspective, yeah, when you help organizations keep track and recruit and manage their volunteers, oh man, yeah, now you have justified more spend for sure.
Okay, so you mentioned that, you know, it's not a subscription based or anything like that, but you also said that you also have something for churches and synagogues. How is that profitable for you if, you know, because they're not, well, I suppose they are technically taking in funds, but that's kind of variable though.
So for synagogue specifically, they have membership fees. So they take in membership fees every single month. They also have things like paid events. And I'm not Jewish. He's the Jewish one, so I wouldn't know too much. But yeah, they do bring in a lot of money. And we just take a percentage of that based off of the level of the synagogue they're at.
Okay.
So and that's where the tithe comes in from the Torah and whatnot.
Thinking.
Like if you're a part of a synagogue, that's where the 10% of your income goes to the synagogue for its general budget, right? Yeah. I'm trying to equate the Torah, Pentateuch, whatever you want to call it. Yeah. So that's where that revenue is coming from.
Exactly.
Just the general budget for the people that would identify themselves as members of that synagogue.
Right.
Cool.
Excellent. Okay. All right. So with that in mind, we've talked about, you know, the company. We've talked about your academia. What happens next year after you graduate? And what happens to you 4 years from now?
Is
when you
it
graduate?
Stanford, Yale, Harvard, Columbia? Where is it?
Tony Stark University? What are we talking here?
Yeah, so actually the university thing is something we talk about a lot because my parents actually made a deal with me. Well, actually, don't tell my mom that she's going to get mad if I say this.
This is public.
Yeah.
Yeah, your mom's going to listen to this episode.
Don't
Just
look at that
look
camera.
right into
Don't
that
look at
camera
that
right
camera.
there as whatever you're about to say.
There's a deal that if I make over $1 million for myself by the time that I graduate, then I don't have to go to college because I'm going to learn more by actually being in the business than going to college.
Yeah, man.
Otherwise, I want to go to some really good business school because I want to study business.
Sure.
I know more about the technology side just due to my years in learning coding and all that stuff, but I want to know more about the operations and the business side of actually managing a business.
You know, there's a great business school right down the road in Dallas at SMU. Yeah, I don't know if you've thought about, Cox
Yeah.
Business School at SMU is fantastic. You wouldn't even have to leave. I mean, you could live down there if you wanted to get a little bit of separation from mom and dad. But I mean, your parents might like it because it's 30 minutes down the road.
Yeah,
So-
I mean, I still have to do the whole college research thing. I'm still working on that, but
And he's like, bro, you don't understand. I'm going to make that $1 million so I don't have to.
Yeah, no. So James,
it's the goal.
when you were looking at graduating high school, were you thinking make $1 million or go to college? Were those two like on the plate?
I'd like for you to not bring me into this, please. Yeah, let's just say that 17, 18-year-old me was lacking direction in his life. He was an arrow that had not yet been pulled back into the bow. It was just an arrow in someone's hand. An arrow in someone's hand is not very dangerous. It's when you put it in the bow and pull it back and aim it in the right direction. At that point,
That's
the arrow
right.
becomes deadly.
All that kinetic potential.
Yeah.
I just want to say, when you're talking about doing just enough to make that A, growing up Filipino, my parents were pretty much of that same mindset. You make an A, that's average. B is
Exactly, yeah.
bad. C is crushing. D is don't come home.
Yeah.
And, that's pretty much what I lived under. And by my senior year, I'd figured out how to do just enough.
Exactly.
And, made great grades and went off to college. And, college was a different story. And there wasn't just figuring it out and making just enough because all of a sudden my academic brilliance was was going down.
Okay. So I have one question left on raising capital, and then I want to get your dad.
Wait, hang on a second. After graduation.
We did.
Yeah.
Sorry, Ben. My
No
bad.
worries,
yeah.
no worries. So we actually made the same deal. My parents did. My mom, his mom is really not on board, so I'm honestly worried to say this.
Look at that
Yeah,
camera.
I'll
and
But
say,
take
hey,
it.
you got more of a runway, Ben. You're good.
Yeah,
you got,
yeah,
You got
so-
3
Yeah,
more
it's time,
years.
that's true.
That's
The
right.
mill is definitely more possible for me than for Rishab,
I'd say
unfortunately.
it's likely, my friend.
Likely.
I mean,
hope.
you got 3 full years until then. That's
Yeah.
probably going to happen, bro. Let's be real.
Yeah.
Sorry, Mom. I'm sorry, Rachel. Don't shoot me. I didn't mean it. There's my camera. Please don't be mad at me. I'm just manifesting good things for your son.
Yeah. I actually don't really want to go to college. If I did, it would definitely be either the technical or business, but I think it would be business, and I really don't want to go to college. I feel like I would, do better and learn more from doing the business rather than going to college.
You want to hear my take on it? And Rachel's really not going to like me after this. I have 2 college degrees, one a bachelor's and a master's, and you know what they're good for? They look nice on my wall. It's a piece of paper with my name on it that says I did something. I did it to completion. I finished it. That's really all it is. It's learning how to finish things, learning how to be diligent, learning how to learn.
Right.
If you already know how to learn, if you already know how to be diligent, hey, college is completely optional, man. So
yeah, and the other life lessons of time management, personal responsibility, because you have to show up to the classes, you have to at a certain time, at a certain place, and there are certain steps that you just have to go through. But you've already demonstrated that you understand that if I don't work, if I don't do this, then it doesn't get done. Which is, I think probably the greatest life lesson, because the same, I've got my bachelor's and my master's, and they do look good on the wall.
Yeah.
But in terms of, what they give me, the life experience of going, I've got a deadline, I've got to meet it. I still apply that, I still have those things in there, but it's not specifically, oh man, I need to memorize what the capital of this country was.
But I think it's really cool that Rishab made the point, and Ben, I'd love to get your take on this, because after I say, well, there's maybe not that much need for it, in a technical sense, there absolutely could be. If you're intending to do something for a career that requires highly technical knowledge that you don't currently possess, whether it's engineering or chemistry or something in medicine or something in the law or, whatever, IT, computer
Business
technology,
management.
business. Yeah. And he recognizes that business, but I don't think of business as being highly technical in the sense that accounting or macroeconomics is. Business is more learning the ways that things work, learning the mechanisms and whatnot. But aside from that, Ben, I think if you're wanting to get really good at, coding, well, you got a guy right here.
He's my teacher.
And I think as you're figuring out, I'm just giving you unsolicited advice now, which is not what this podcast is about, but here we are. You got to figure out why you're going to college.
Right.
Because your biggest advantage right now is you've already figured some things out at the age of 14. Most people don't figure out for a decade. You probably already realize how fortunate and blessed and lucky you are.
Yeah, of course.
Because your biggest advantage is you have more years to play with.
Right.
Because you have made more progress earlier in your life. So then the question becomes, what's the best way to keep on capitalizing on the advantages that through hard work and diligence and good advice from mom and dad and other people that you've been able to get? And I mean, if going to college suits your goals and benefits you and adds some skill to your set that you can't get from the people that are already in your circle, maybe going to college is a good idea. There, Rachel, see, did it. There you go. Maybe college is, you should have told me your mom's name. I'm just going to keep calling her by name now. Having our own little therapy session here with thousands of listeners. I'm done naming your parents, by the way. I'm sorry.
Sorry.
Don't mean to make it weird.
Just had to get some redemption points in there.
I had to win some points back because I don't want her being mad at me. But that's really it, man. Other than that, you do you, man. I'm so stinking proud of you guys. Like, it is so cool to see this.
Thank you, yeah.
I mean, man, what a cool episode.
I feel like, the first 40 years of my life were so unfocused and like, man, if I could go back. But, you have so many tools and technology really is one of your biggest tools that we just didn't have at your age. But, so let's just a little touch on the AI part. Do you feel that AI will ultimately negate your positions and what you do?
Yeah, so that's always like a thing I like to talk about because everyone's saying, oh, AI is going to take over my job. It's going to take over the world. But I really think that, for things like coding and repetitive tasks that you may need to do, AI is definitely going to take over. But it always just opens up a new lane of opportunity for someone to do something new. So I don't think that, for me, my job is obviously the coding side, but then we also have whiteboarding out new modules and thinking about new ideas for how we can push the business forward. And I don't think that, of course, AI can help you, but there's always someone that needs to prompt the AI and someone that needs to do something with it. The AI is only as powerful as whoever uses it. So I don't think so in the end.
We could be sitting here with the actual founders of the Terminator.
I don't know, man. The nonprofit Terminator.
That's right.
They terminate your problems. Okay, so last question here before we go. And then we'll just wrap this thing up with our favorite question that we always ask.
That's right.
Everybody who's sitting here. From a fundraising perspective, do you have a cap table yet, or are you guys just in all the equity is held privately and you haven't done a pre-seed or a seed round or anything like that yet? Are you working with any private equity or hedge funds or angel investors or anything yet?
Yeah, so right now we've all agreed, we've all agreed that we don't want to be working for someone if we have like equity holders. We don't want to be working under them and just thinking about their idea. We want it to be our idea, what we started from the beginning. So we're all private right now, and the equity is just split between the team members.
Yeah. Okay.
That's amazing.
I'm disappointed because I wanted to invest.
Yeah. It's like, wait a minute.
These guys are doing something, man. I see it. It's awesome. Any final questions for you, Fred, before we hit them with the Team Bear or Team Shark?
No, I'm just thinking, when they go public, will we be
I don't know
there?
if they're going to go public.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like, well, I don't know. I mean, right now he said that, they're pretty
Because
much,
the moment you go public, you lose control.
yeah, they're
That's true.
tapping,
Because you have to
Yeah.
answer the
they're
shareholders.
tapping family
Right.
members right now. But, do you make family members sign an NDA, non-disclosure, so that they don't take your IP somewhere else? Don't answer that. Don't answer that. Don't answer that. It's like,
Hope they wouldn't.
I'm gonna stay on
His
the good
attorney
side of
said
everybody.
he's not supposed to answer that question. So,
All right.
here we go.
No wrong answer. But you got, you got to lean in for this one. Who would win in a
Okay.
fight between a massive giant polar bear
12 feet tall,
and a massive great white shark
26 feet long.
in a body of water 6 feet deep
Okay.
of infinite dimensions? There's no edge, no shoreline, no shallows, no anything. Polar bear, shark.
It's got to be the shark. Their mouth can just open, like devour the whole thing.
Polar
And
bear.
20 feet long.
Polar bear's getting it.
Polar bear?
Yeah.
Why is
Sharks-
the polar bear?
I just feel like it's just better, just like that. It's gonna be. I feel like the shark. It can move faster maybe than the shark. Not the shark.
We're in water. The shark can just float around.
But
Okay.
and I'm not going to argue with you. I'm just going to say, for consideration, 4 sets of claws and a mouth.
That's true.
For your
water-
consideration.
And for your consideration, water is home field advantage for the shark.
It is home field.
That's why it's a good question. In case you haven't figured out, Fred is Team Shark and I'm Team Bear. So, yeah. Okay, that's it. Guys, this has been just a wonderful conversation. If folks want to learn about Benevolate, I don't know if you guys filled out the guest information form or not. We'll get all the information. They're looking at my camera again. We'll get all the information in the show notes, the description on YouTube. If you want to learn more about Benevolate, I'm guessing it's benevolate.com or something
Yep.
like that.
Yeah.
Yep.
You got companyname.com, huh?
Yeah.
Awesome. Good idea there. That does not surprise me at all. You guys have got everything else right so far. So, what's the biggest challenge? What comes next? What's the biggest challenge? Each of you can answer this for yourself because you guys have very different roles. What's the biggest challenge for you in the next 6 months?
Yeah, I would say for a development perspective, we have a lot of deadlines because we're planning on launching it December 31st for our synagogue clients. So a lot of big things are coming up and we need to build out a lot of modules by then. So just from a development perspective, there's a lot we need to work on.
Okay.
Yeah, on the support side, it's definitely becoming scalable for the amount of clients. Like right now, it's just me and a different team member on the support side. And so when we scalable and get a lot more clients, it's going to be harder. So I need to put in that documentation, those right ways of how to answer support ticket, and just overall becoming scalable for the next clients is important.
Love it. Rishab, Ben, thanks so much for your time,
Thank
guys.
you.
This has been a wonderful episode. Hey, hope this was great for you. Share this episode with your kids. I'm going to share it with mine. And let's just build the positive energy and the encouragement for these two young men. This has been another episode of the McKinney Podcast where we celebrate what makes us unique and young and successful by nature. Y'all take care.
Thank you, guys.